am Sri Aurobindo Meera, reading from How Do I Begin? A Primer of Affirmative Spirituality by M.P. Pandit, published by Dipti Publications, Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Puducherry, India. Chapter 5, Collective Sadhana. I have so far spoken to you of your individual sadhana. It is necessary, however, to point out that while your personal commitment and progress are a must, you should take care not to shut yourself in a shell. You should guard against the danger of subjectivism and its attendant possibilities of fantasies and losing yourself in a world of imagination. This teaching insists upon the collective aspect, and if you enter into it with the right spirit, you gain substantially. You associate yourself with like minded seekers and work out a schedule of study, prayer, and meditation to begin with. You may form an informal group or circle of fellow seekers and set for yourselves a flexible program. It is important to observe regularity and solemnity in such a project. You all must meet in a chosen place on fixed days at fixed times. You may meet in one home or in a number of homes by rotation, but be punctual and regular. This is important because when a number of seekers meet and concentrate, a presence is invoked. And if things are done regularly, it establishes itself in that focus. You must respect that presence by being regular in attendance. You may initially meet once a month or a fortnight on a fixed date. When you assemble, finish the usual social talk before you enter the room or the hall chosen for the meeting. Light a few incense sticks. They burn away the impurities in the atmosphere and keep out the little entities that may be floating in the air. It is better to begin with some music. It may be a few minutes of the mother's organ music or a devotional song offered by a member. If the members are so inclined, a collective chanting may be regularly done. That is found to have a powerful effect on the mind and emotional being, and even on the physical body, in centering them on the object of the invocation. Gross vibrations are dispelled. Higher sound vibrations set in and they purify and elevate. Thereafter, there should be study. Select a good text of spiritual guidance, for example, Sri Aurobindo's Basis of Yoga, The Mother, or The Mother's Supreme Discovery, Conversations, Essays on the Gita, or an Upanishad, or any spiritual writing that appeals to the group. Each one must have studied earlier the portion to be read at the session and marked in his book or notebook the lines that or likes most or finds it difficult to understand. One member must take the lead in giving the summary of the portion and offer his comments. He must be followed by others, each offering his choice or selection of lines and explaining why they appeal to them. Difficulties of members in the study must be taken up and discussed with understanding. It is advisable that the leadership at each session must move by rotation. Everyone must have a full sense of participation. Each one must exert himself and prepare for a meaningful session. There should be, however, no debate, no heat. Important points that need clarification may be referred later to any chosen guide or guides. This study period should not last for more than 40 to 45 minutes. At the end, a relevant line or lines from any authentic spiritual book, for example, Savitri, Upanishad, Bible, Gita, etc., must be read and form the theme of the meditation and that follows. Form the theme of the meditation that follows. To have a common theme for meditation is very important in a collective meditation, for otherwise, the moment people close their eyes, they tend each to go into a world of his own. Instead, all must meditate on the chosen theme. It is good, if that is possible, to write the theme on a board beforehand and display it in the room. This meditative session may extend from 15 to 30 minutes. After that, members may either silently disperse or have a brief chanting together so that they go with the prayerful notes resounding in their ears. In a collective exercise of this kind, the weak gain support from the strong. The aspiration of each gets support from that of the others, and a solid community of aspiration and seeking is formed, making progress more broad based and dynamic for the society in which you live. Remember that you have an obligation to the society from which you draw so much. Also, that you can be as perfect as your environment is perfect.